It's a new Philly season with a new Philly show, and we're going to talk about why the Philadelphia Phillies can absolutely compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers for a World Series title. Join us next on the PHLY Phillies podcast. Welcome into the Xfinity Lounge here at the PHLY studio. I am Jamie Lynch, and we are presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. And today is the launch of the new Philly show here for us here at PHLY. I am Jamie Lynch. I think you know this man to my left. This is Anthony Gargano, the Cuz, going to be joining us every Wednesday. And our newest edition here at PHLY. You know him, you love him, you've followed him for years in this town. He does a great job covering the Phillies. We're very excited to have him on board. Mr. Corey Seidman joins us.
Jamie, Cuz, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. This is going to be a fun season. I mean, Phillies fans, there's a combination of like optimism, pessimism, hope, dread. There's so much anxiousness heading into this season, and I'm just looking forward to breaking it down with you guys all year long.
How about my man? I love
it. We got a lot to get into today as the Phillies start the season tomorrow at home versus the Texas Rangers.
72 degrees.
72 and sunny.
Baby.
Perfect day.
Best news all day.
Let's play two.
Bunting flag on the field. I know how you feel about that with the opening day spray paint.
You want to see some bunts, small ball, and opening day?
No. Bunting. Like, you know when the field gets dressed up in bunting?
Yeah.
Right? I want to drape my house in bunting.
What's stopping you?
Colonial
My wife.
Ah. Good reason.
I'm out. I said, listen, I want to do the bunting. Like, you know, the playoffs, World Series, when it's all formal baseball, I want to dress the house up in formal baseball.
Yeah.
She said no.
I don't like your odds. But there's a lot to be excited about here. Everybody in the chat, welcome in. Thanks for joining us on the show. Please do us a favor and smash that thumbs up button for the first iteration of this PHLY Phillies show. Let's get into it, guys, because the Philadelphia Phillies, I understand there was a stagnant-ish nature to the offseason, but there are 4 new faces who we're going to dive into here in a minute. But the general sentiment in town to the people I talk to every day is the Phillies are just running it back. We are 100% in a spoiled Philadelphia Phillies phase. Just because they have won the World Series or have not won the World Series in the past 4 years does not make this a failure. This is still a very, very good and talented baseball team with a lot of things to be excited about. So let's talk about them because the Phils are right there.
Yeah, let me start with it because, guys, I was talking to Larry Boa last night. And he brought up the correlation, which I thought was really, really smart, of that 70s era team. That in 76, 77, 78, they win the division, but can't get over the hump. They had lost the faith of the fan base. Mm-hmm. They were calling them, losers. You're never going to win. Was he back then? The jackals. Yeah. They were jackals. They're bums, right? Those people were crazy. But similarly, he said, we in 80, I'll never forget, he goes, we were just tired of it. We were tired of this whole idea. So he said, I got the sense this spring training, I'll ask you because you were down there, Cord, that this group is tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, and I would even go back to that 2007 to 11 era. 2007, the Phillies were bounced out quickly in the playoffs. Then in 08, all of a sudden, they quote-unquote learned how to win. There's no direct or specific timeline for when a team puts it all together. It could be after 2 quick playoff exits, the same way it could be after 2022 when the Phillies made it all the way to the World Series. I would just say that when you look at this roster in comparison to all of baseball, there are 27 other fan bases that would love to have the Phillies roster instead of their own. You go team by team. The Dodgers, yes, they're superior on paper, but who else is? I don't think there really is anybody else in the National League, or if you go team by team in the American League, that has as complete a roster as the Phillies. Now, that obviously has to play out in October as well. That's why there's so much.
But you can't look at October. See, the problem is that we sit here now thinking about October. It's impossible. You can't fast forward a baseball season and the degree of luck that occurs in October. How you playing? Who's hurt? What's going on? You can't figure it out. You can only play the games, and you can't fast forward it. It's not football.
And you got to enjoy the ride along the way, because this is going to be a very entertaining season. I mean, they're probably going to win 95-ish games, right? They're going to be a stacked rotation. You know, this is probably the best bullpen the Phillies have had in the last 5 years. So this has a chance to be a really exciting team for 6 months. And to Cuz's point, I mean, everybody's thinking about October, but let's not forget about the ride along the way.
The Durantula is one of the reasons to be incredibly excited about this season. One of the best Phillies closers potentially ever on paper. And we get him for a whole season now. Yep. So there's a lot to get into. But to me, the sun, the moon, the earth is Bryce Harper. Can the Phillies win a World Series?
Yes, talking my language, bro.
Without Bryce Harper being that MVP elite Bryce Harper? Because I still think he has some of his best ball ahead of him. Some guys that have been through the ringer of Major League Baseball say your prime is 33 to 36. And he can be theoretically in that prime, even though he's been playing baseball for what feels like 18 years. I think he still has bright days ahead. I think he absolutely, I'm looking forward to the revenge tour. I think you're getting a highly motivated Bryce Harper this year.
I mean, can they get where they want to go if he's not the MVP 100% level Bryce Harper? Maybe, but it would be a lot easier if he was, especially because he's their biggest October primetime performer. Even when, we just saw...
No, they can't. Let's face it, Core. They can't. If Bryce is hurt...
But you're telling me if Bohm, Marsh, and Stott all had career years and Bryce had a year like last year, which wasn't his best, but if the club around him, if the lineup around him, if enough guys do it, you think they absolutely need that 310, 400
it's not
OBP?
About 310. It's not about numbers. I'm not going to quantify it in numbers. But Bryce, my biggest problem is I still don't think he has anyone hitting behind him. You need Garcia to, I think, show you he's legit power, because Bohm's just not going to give you enough power to behind you. Second and third, I had this conversation with Siggy last night. Second and third, base open, 1 out. What are you doing? You're on
Harper.
the mound.
Yeah, you're probably going to pitch around Harper.
Not probably, you are. You're not going to get anything to hit.
And then it's going to be incumbent upon Bohm to hit a 2-run single over the second baseman's head. And if he can do that, then the lineup will click at the top.
You feel good about that?
We'll see. We've seen the peaks and valleys of Alec Bohm.
Well,
I'm not sold on it.
He's not a 4-hole hitter.
But my hope here is that Adalis eventually, I know he Ks a lot, but in this ballpark, you've talked about him getting out of that air-conditioned park. If he can get the power, he has 30-plus home run potential in this park. My hope is the Ks are within a reasonable number that he can eventually dethrone Bohm for that 4-hole. I kind of think, offensively, they need that.
Well, I wonder if starting the season, we're expecting that Bohm's going to start the season in the cleanup spot. That was where he was in the Phillies' final lineup of spring training. I wonder if some of that is also to not put so much pressure on Adolis Garcia right out of the gate, because he's facing his former team right out of the chute with his new team. If he was in the cleanup spot, that's a whole lot of pressure to put on a guy right away.
You're right. I think it's a great point, Corey.
2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it might be Garcia in the cleanup spot. I think the Phillies are going to move around Garcia and Bohm. If they have Bryce and Stott batting 5th on opening day and Marsh 7th, that might change as well. And to your point, too, about the strikeouts with Garcia, he only struck out 5 times in 49 plate appearances in Clearwater. I know that spring training numbers don't mean a ton, but...
when they're favorable, you use them for you.
Exactly.
When they're not any good, it's
when they work for the narrative.
I like generate run. Give me run production. But I'm sorry. I'm not... I can't view it through the prism. If I got a run producer, I produce runs. You strike out, you strike out. It's cost of doing business.
So
I don't need Garcia to walk 130 times.
No,
I'll tell you that.
I need him putting the ball over the fence. Now, somebody in the chat, and shout out everybody in the chat, Bryce did have Aaron Judge batting behind him in the WBC. He had some protection there.
It's a small sample size. Come on.
It brings the question, do you
trade for Aaron Judge?
No, would you consider Bryce out of the 3-hole? I know he prefers it, and that's where he's comfortable, and yada, yada,
well,
yada.
That's a great question.
But do you see any scenario where it makes more sense for this Phillies team to have Bryce Harper batting leadoff or in the 2-hole?
It's a great question. I'll bring it up to you guys. Because during my conversation with Siggy last night, I'm working on a big Bryce Harper piece. It's coming out. It'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, on allphly.com.
Right.
Anthony's going to be doing some writing. Corey is going to be down at the ballpark covering this team as part of our new rollout here. So make sure you're checking out allphly.com. If you want to become a diehard, you can get all of Corey's writing, plus Fran Duffy's NFL draft guide, Charlie O'Connor's great Flyers coverage, Kyle and Derek Bodner on the Sixers. We have Bo Wolf and EJ Smith covering the Eagles. We got you fully covered here. So if you want to become a diehard with us, you can get all the writing unlocked, plus more benefits like free merch and all that stuff. But Corey, continue on.
Yeah, I'm excited about the piece. So I'm working on this piece. And I'm talking to Sagi, and he's like, dude, because if I'm Topper, I put Bryce 1 or 2. And he's like, I'd much rather have my best hitters, at least the worst comes to worst, I get the 5th at bat. I'm guaranteed the 5th.
I know that Harper doesn't like leading off and he prefers 3 over 2. I think the scenario where they might change it is if, because to what he said earlier, if Alec Bohm's not coming through in that spot where Harper gets pitched around to load the bases, if Bohm grounds into a double play or is too frequently popping the ball up, that's when you might see a change, because there's going to be times when Harper needs more protection than Schwarber and vice versa based on who's hot or who's cold.
Yeah.
Top of the lineup, though, I mean, look, Trey Turner
had a great year.
Won the batting title last year, graded out as the fastest player in all of baseball based on like sprint speed, trackable sprint speed. So that seems sufficient for a leadoff guy.
And I love Crawford at 9.
Yeah, I mean, think about that dynamic, too. The 9-1, the speed in front of Schwarber and Harper.
9. Love it. Love it.
There are ways that this offensive ceiling can rise. I mean, I know people think that they're running it back, but based on Garcia and Justin Crawford, those are 2 major X factors for the Phillies this season.
Yeah, and Bryson Stott, you mentioned earlier, coming off a really nice spring training down there, so we're going to use that. Of course, it's going to extrapolate into the regular season without a doubt, because that's how spring training stats work.
Yes.
But he's a very interesting piece of this lineup, because 2 years ago, his plate discipline and strike zone knowledge, and with the new ABS system too, which is a whole new wrinkle in the baseball world this year, if he has that command of the strike zone and is able to work at bats and see pitches, he can really offensively change this lineup around. Bryson Stott. He's pretty key this year. This is kind of, I don't want to say the final like form, but like this is kind of where like he's going to mark who he is as a Major League Baseball player.
It has to be. I mean, Stott hit .315 down the stretch last year, I think final 46 games. That's like a quarter of a season. Now he needs to do it for a full season.
Yeah.
Now Brandon Marsh needs to do it for a full season. Now Alec Bohm needs to do it for a full season. And it's extremely important for all of them individually on top of the team aspect, because Bohm's a free agent after this year. Stott and Marsh are free agents after 2027. If they want to all show they're everyday players, everyday contributors, not just platoon guys in the form of Marsh and Stott, they need to show it this year. And I mean, it really is make or break time. And I look at this team like if 2 of those 3 guys, Bohm, Stott, and Marsh, if 2 of those 3 guys have a career year, this offense is going to be in a really good position.
Yes.
Who do you guys feel most comfortable out of those 3? Because you're right, those
Stott.
3. Stott, you feel most comfortable?
Stott. I bullish. He's the best of the 3.
I agree. Marsh's improvements last year, particularly against left-handed pitching, he really kind of picked up in the second half there.
Did. Yeah.
Is that a sustainable thing that we can come to expect? How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Brandon Marsh have humongous Aprils and humongous Septembers and really hot first halves and second halves, but again, hasn't put it together for 6 full months. He's not going to face lefties. I mean, we know that it's going to be Otto Kemp in left field and Edmundo Sosa at second base
stash on
against
Otto Kemp.
lefties. Yeah. But great stash, yeah. But, you know, I just look at it like, you know, Bohm, if you're talking about like all-around player, I think I'd probably say Stott because like the defensive component, the speed. But we've also seen Alec Bohm drive in 97 runs back-to-back years. So that's all that means something. Like that's not easy to do. I know that he's not the typical or prototypical cleanup guy, but 307 career hitter with runners in scoring position. They just need that to play out more than the ground ball double play machine.
Here's the thing about Stott though. Why I prefer Stott is he'll grind at bats.
Oh yeah.
Like I like that. Like
yeah, no doubt.
I get a grind at bat. I'm not anti-Bohm. I'm just anti-Bohm 4.
Yeah, I feel
Bohm is to me. I got no issue with Bohm 6'7". I think there's less pressure on him. He's got natural play coverage. But like I can't have a guy hitting 4 who hit 12 doubles last year.
Yeah, well, I mean they can't have a guy hitting 12 doubles in that spot anywhere in the lineup.
But
they
you
need
get
him
my
to,
point.
yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know, he's just born to be a 6-hole hitter. That screams 6'7" because of his play coverage. He's never been that guy that can give you that treat. The power just never came.
And I mean, the Phillies told us themselves, just based on their actions, that they didn't feel completely comfortable.
Like everybody tried to trade him.
Based on the fact that they pursued Bo Bichette and were willing to pay him $200 million to protect Bryce Harper in the lineup. So they know it's not a perfect solution either.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
there's a potential that, the perfect solution does present itself at the trade deadline. I mean, the trade deadline is also a point where you can make a major impact. Like you mentioned Duran earlier. If the Phillies signed Duran this past offseason or acquired him this past offseason, we'd be looking at the winner totally differently, but they got that done 3-4 months ahead of time. So
yeah, it's a great point.
This roster that we see on opening day is not going to look the same in July. It's not going to look the same in October.
The only problem is that Dombrowski, where he has failed, and he's been overall very good, but where he's failed has been in getting that other bat.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I wanted Dallas to work out so
Kepler,
that it's more trade deadline flexibility to address what is actually
with Merrifield, Kepler.
He just is even Kepler I didn't understand because he was another lefty. He struggled. I get it. MLB's weird because there's a dearth of right-handed hitting power outfield. It's why Ozuna still has a job in Pittsburgh. Like these guys,
better ball player than person,
right? Like these guys, they just don't. There are not a lot of them. They got to develop some right-handed power.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I mean, they also need to be able to graduate some of their own homegrown prospects to the majors and have them click. Like that's why Crawford, not that he hits from the right side or anything like that, but he's so important. I mean, and he handled lefties in the minor league. So if he's able to translate that to the majors, but you start to look at like the pipeline behind that. Aiden Miller, who was slowed in camp by a back injury. The big question mark now. There's a lot of hope that he'd be able to, potentially hit his way toward a September call-up maybe. We'll see about that. But, Dante Nuri behind him. Philly's got to get these guys up to the majors and producing to be able to supplement the very expensive core.
And let's talk about Justin Crawford and Andrew Painter and some of those guys coming up. But one of the guys to be really excited about for this season is today's big deal presented by our friends at Wawa. Grab any Sizzly hot or iced coffee and a hash brown for $5 from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. I frequent this one personally quite often. But that big deal today is one Chris Sanchez, who takes the mound tomorrow for the Fightins on opening day. He has a chance to become one of the Phillies' all-time great acquisitions. This trade that they pulled for Chris Sanchez is shaping up to be historically great. This guy is unbelievable. And the Phillies, and I'm interested in both your opinions on this, made right by Chris Sanchez, saw he was an undervalued contract, and extended him for some real money with some deferment money down the line. So the Phillies get in the deferral game a little bit here. Chris Sanchez locked up through 2032. Now him, Jesus Luzardo, and Andrew Painter are the bridge away from Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler, and really give you a lot of hope for the future of this Phillies rotation. Chris Sanchez, what did you make of the deal, Corey? I
was surprised that it happened because the Phillies had just extended him 20 months ago in June of 2024, but he clearly outperformed the contract. I wrote a piece a few weeks ago about how that has already become one of the best trades and contracts in the history of the Phillies. Well, obviously, Christopher Sanchez's side felt that they needed a little bit more out of it too. So it's great to keep him in the fold beyond just the end of that previous contract, because I see sustainability when I look at Christopher Sanchez.
And here's some of the details for the people in the chat. Let's get a little thumbs up for the deal. And there it is, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, I see sustainability with Sanchez because the changeup is elite, the sinker is elite, like literally one of the 5 best sinkers of a starting pitcher in baseball based on the metrics and the movement. And then the slider continues to get better. Simple delivery, 200-plus innings last year, the build of a workhorse. There's nothing not to like about Christopher Sanchez. It's just interesting how much money the Phillies are throwing into their starting pitching. Like they are continuing to commit themselves to starting pitching between this deal, the Nola deal, the Luzardo deal. But man, Christopher Sanchez, that was like the perfect starting pitching season he had last year. Strikeouts, low walks, no homers, kept the ball on the ground, did it all.
Yeah, and to Corey's point, what excites me about locking up both Sanchez and Luzardo is the motion, the delivery, right? Both of them smooth, not herky-jerky, right? Not a lot of pressure on your elbow, not a lot of, like, when you have that kind of smooth, easy delivery, that is, again, it helps you stay healthy. And then I can invest in pitching like that, especially from the left side. I think it's smart to invest and lock both of those guys up. I love it. I'm a big Luzardo guy too.
You've always been a Lizard man.
I'm a Lizard guy.
I mean, it protects the Phillies also. Like if Zack Wheeler does retire after his 3-year contract is over, they would feel good about Sanchez and Luzardo being the 1 and 2 in their rotation.
Absolutely.
I mean, those guys would be the 1 and 2 in most rotations if they weren't here.
Yeah, so let's talk about Zack Wheeler, some positive news. On the other side, we're going to hear from some of our friends here at PHLY. The governor, Josh Shapiro, was so fired up to talk Phillies opening day. He joined us to talk about the Phils' start of the season. Plus, we'll talk about some of the new faces in Justin Crawford and Andrew Painter and Keller and Adolis Garcia. We'll talk about all those guys, plus Zack Wheeler coming up next here on the PHLY Phillies podcast. Bet365, where winning is everything. And they know that winning money is great, but winning with their money is even better. And there's never been a better time to do that than right now with their Bet $10, Get $365 promo, available now to all new users with Bet365. All you have to do is sign up, make a $10 bet, and win or lose, you'll be given $365 in bonus bets, because it never hurts to have a little cheese or bread or onions. At Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app today and use code PHLY365 at sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in PA. $10 minimum deposit required. Bonus bet wager excluded from returns. New customers only. 21 plus only. Time limits, minimum odds. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Void where prohibited. Whether your team wins or not, there's always another way to win with the Bet Parks online casino app. Check out brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff, Fireblaze Sky Queen, a Bet Parks exclusive. The only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games right there from the palm of my hand, like blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra online slots. Play hot online slots based on your favorite streaming games like Walking Dead, Squid Game, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders, all your favorite classic casino games right from wherever you are. New users get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino right at your fingertips. Must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for Bet Parks. You love to play, you play to win, you bet with Bet Parks. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome back into the PHLY Phillies podcast, live here from the Xfinity Lounge. What's that?
We got ball tonight.
We do. Giants
Yankees.
You like that?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
I'll watch
it. He's sick, Corey. He'll stay up till 2:30 in the morning watching Angels,
I'm the same
Rangers.
way. I'm the same way. I'll be up late, like watching like 7 games a night if I'm not down at the ballpark. Like just tune in on different screens.
Great?
Yeah,
I freaking love it. Like, because like that time is my time. Like 9, 10 o'clock to 1, 2 in the morning. The only time I got.
And that's how you familiarize yourself with the league. So when the Phillies get a guy in mid-July, you know what you're talking about.
I got it on. I got, I'll do some writing, and then I got my games on. I look up, and I love the sound of the yard.
We're only a couple days away. 1 day away from like 15 games on the same night. I just cannot wait.
I love the sound of the yard, but the favorite thing I love about walking into the stadium tomorrow, and you're probably going to think I'm a weirdo, is when that smell of the sausage, pepper, and onion hits the nostrils.
Ooh.
And you just feel the buzz of the stadium, and it's just like, oh, we're back, baby. I love the sausage, pepper, and onion smell. It's like my favorite thing in the ballpark.
I just want to see him lining the field.
Yeah.
I want to see the infield being manicured. That's what I miss.
The opening day, spray paint on the field.
Dude, I had that feeling. Sunday, we played our travel ball first double. We had a doubleheader, just a kind of exhibition. So I'm in the dugout, and I'm just like, it was a nice field, like nice dugouts, right? And I'm just like, oh, this is the greatest. It's just baseball.
Sun's back out.
Right? Like, it's just
Feels
baseball.
right.
Oh, my God. And we have this new contraption. We have an app. It's a pitch calling app, right?
Yeah,
so
this is absolutely insane.
Our catcher has the Bluetooth earpiece.
You got. How old are we talking?
13.
13-year-olds with Bluetooth earpieces?
Yeah.
Just like when you were playing Little League, right, Jim?
I go, if I want fastball away, he'll set up outside. I want change up. I know, because not all of our kids throw sliders, curveballs, depends.
Mm-hmm.
Some are just fastball, change up kids. right? If I want to pick, I see a kid at first, has too long of a lead, click, I hit the button.
You reading some swings? See if a guy's late, calling some high heat?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, come on, man. I take it serious.
Locked in.
It's the best.
Okay. You're ready to go. I'm ready to go.
It's fun. It's a great day tomorrow. It's one of my favorite days of the year. My wife and I go down every year. It's a tradition of ours. She loves it. My girls were talking about the Phillies starting the season this morning over breakfast. They're fired up. The whole town's fired up. There's a lot to be excited about with this team. You know, I know they've come up short. I know they're quasi running it back, but there's a lot to be excited about. We talked about the starting rotation. Some great news came out this week. Zack Wheeler is ahead of schedule and going to start throwing in the minors this Saturday, I believe it is. Let's talk about Zack Wheeler. I may be dumb. I'm expecting him to just come back and be Zack Wheeler, to be a super freak. That's my expectation. I'm not too worried about a drop-off from him. How do you guys feel, Corey? What did you see from him down in Florida? Are you with me where you're just expecting him to hit the ground running?
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be Zack Wheeler. I mean, it's not like he had major elbow surgery or anything like that. I mean, the velocity seemed like it was creeping up all throughout his bullpen sessions and live batting practices. Interesting to see on Saturday with Lehigh Valley where the velocity is. But even if Zack Wheeler is at like 94 as opposed to 96, he still has so much else. You know, he has this five
That's
pitch
not
mix.
a Nola 94.
Right, exactly. There's so much more finish to Wheeler. Even when Wheeler's throwing like 95, it often looks like 98, 99.
Because his ball's heavy. He throws that heavy ball. It's so hard to barrel up.
And I mean, he has looked ahead of schedule this entire time. And so if he starts Saturday for AAA, right?
What do you expect?
There's a 30-day clock that a rehab assignment maximum is 30 days. So if he lasts the maximum 30 days, that would return him to the Phillies for their a road trip the final week of April. So, I mean, people have been saying May 1, mid-May. To me, it looks like third or fourth week of April.
Yeah, I talked to Boa. He said end of April.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that right around that time frame when Wheeler's projected to return is when the Phillies' schedule normalizes and they go to having a game every single day. They have a game 22 out of 23 days right when Wheeler's projected to return.
So then you go 6-man?
So it wouldn't shock me if that's when they go to a 6-man rotation for that temporary period to ease Wheeler back in.
With Taiwan being the 6th?
Yeah, with Taiwan. And then eventually, maybe then if the schedule then gets to a point where it doesn't make any sense to keep it a 6-man, then you can just move Walker to the bullpen.
So in both of your opinions, if Zack Wheeler resumes being Zack Wheeler, which we kind of all anticipate that happening, is there a better staff in baseball than the Phillies?
Not deeper.
The Mariners Mariners are good.
Yeah, Gilbert. Who you got?
Kirby.
Kirby.
Gilbert, Kirby, Castillo is a really good 1 through 4.
Yeah, Castillo lost a little bit.
He's lost a lot of it.
The Dodgers.
Castillo's almost like their Nola.
Yes.
He's their version of Nola.
Ohtani had another strong spring training last night on the mound.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers would be good, but they're health dependent with Snell and Glasnow and all that.
They're going to pitch,
But on paper, the Phillies might have, and Aaron Nola is a huge X factor here for this team because if he turns into like that 3.9 ERA Nola that can give you 215 innings and 200 plus strikeouts, he takes some of that pressure off of Painter and he kind of makes everybody just fall into it like their natural place.
I think he's going to be kind of
I do too.
I think he's going to be what he always was. Like, he's not going to be last year. Right?
No, I sure hope not.
Well, let's hope he's not
that. Right? But I think he's going to be across. I don't know if he's going to be as good as he was 2 years ago, or as consistent. He's always going to have a blow-up inning or two, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to have moments where he's hot and he gives you 6 innings and 7 strikeouts and,
that's all
2
I need.
runs.
That's all I need. Quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, keep you in the game. Philly should be able to score more than 3. Bullpen should be able to shut you down late. If you get 32 starts out of Aaron Nola and 20 of them are quality starts, to me, that's a job well done. Making a ton of money, obviously, but the Phillies paid that money for the durability more than the...
It's not my money. I don't give a damn.
You can't look at the contract.
Great way to put it.
Yeah, I don't care. Keep spending, John
I'm excited for Nola. For Painter, because we saw swing and miss out of Painter over the weekend.
Yeah.
With his stuff and how hard he throws, he's really the 4.
And he looked better and better each start in the spring. He's going to face the lowly Nationals lineup in his major league debut, so you'd figure that could be a good way for him to hit the ground running. Very excited about Painter. The 4-5 of Nola and Painter, when you're talking about these other top rotations, there's not another rotation that has a 4 and 5 with that upside.
No.
Not even close.
No.
All
Look at the Mets. Like, people talk about the Mets, and I go, What do you love about their pitching?
They have a decent 1-2, assuming McLean is what
like
is
Freddie
promised.
Peralta is like a soft. He's
pitcher.
he's like a soft number one.
He's just
team,
very
Freddie
soft
Peralta.
number one.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's not scary.
Oh, that's my point. He's a 5-6 inning pitcher.
And Kodai Senga is like a 5-inning guy.
Yeah,
who has some
he
injury
throws a
history
lot of
now.
pitches. Peralta throws a lot of pitches. Senga throws a lot of pitches. They're going to tax a bullpen that I think is questionable.
And Edwin is their big move.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound like a homer or anything, but I know the Mets spent a lot of money this season. But when you this offseason, when you look at the actual roster, is that roster better than what the Mets had last year?
No.
Like they added Bichette, lost Alonso. They added Semien, lost Nimmo. I mean, they added Freddie Peralta, but they lost Edwin Diaz and replaced. Like it's not. It doesn't look like to me that looks like a 90-ish win team, but the Phillies to me have a much more complete 1 through 26 roster.
All right, let's get into our
great core.
Our Ace Hardware temperature check on some of the new faces on this Phillies team. Are they heating up? Are they cooling off? With our Ace Hardware temperature check, visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. All right, we just talked about Andrew Painter there. I think we're all pretty bullish and heating up on Andrew Painter. The guy I'm really excited for, he's excelled at every level of the minors. He's getting the opening day center field job. He's wearing number 2 for you. He batted .324 last year in the minors. Obviously, don't expect that in the majors, but he's got elite athleticism. He's got speed. He can get around the bases. He can get around center field. Justin Crawford is going to be a very exciting Philly to watch this year. We talked about what he brings to this lineup in the 9-hole, kind of resetting as a leadoff type hitter. What are the two of you expecting realistically from Justin Crawford this year?
Hey, if he infuses energy and he plays his brand of baseball and he gets on base and steals 30 bags and has like a league average on base percentage and plays a decent center field, that's a really good rookie season. And I will just say that, being down in Clearwater, observing Justin Crawford, he walks around the clubhouse, looks like a big leaguer, has that kind of body. Having been the son of a big leaguer, he knows how to handle himself. And I expect him to have a pretty good rookie season. I don't think he's going to hit 324, like you said.
Can he do 265, 270?
And if he hits 270 with a 320 OBP with speed,
yeah,
that's way more than most teams get out of their 9-hole hitter.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you go 9-1 with him and Turner.
It's a lot of speed.
I do. And it's funny, talking to Boa, it's like there's going to be a lot of RBI opportunities for Schwarb and Hart because you're going to have those guys on base. And that's a big deal.
I just keep thinking about all the innings where it's going to be like a Crawford single out of the 9 spot, Turner singles him over to third, maybe Turner steals second base. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position for the big boys. And the other part about Crawford is if he really does produce, I don't know if it's going to happen right away this year, but that's a way to elongate the lineup because if you can eventually move him up to the 1 spot and move Trey Turner to 2, and then that starts getting you more protection. You have speed and OBP at the top. It's more protection for a guy like Harper. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away or even in 2026, but it gives you the possibility.
Down the line. Because you do want Bryce up as much as possible.
Yes, and that's the Phillies' priorities, getting all 3 of those guys up in the first inning, maximizing their plate appearances.
Yeah, my problem isn't having Marsh in the 5-hole and Bohm in the 4-hole.
Stott.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
if everybody was a spot further down, it would look same concept as like when you added Duran and like, okay, the 9th inning solidified. Now all these other guys fit into place because of it. Whereas if Brad Keller was your closer, we'd all be saying, I don't know if this bullpen's good enough.
Right.
And Brad Keller is one of the other names that Phillies fans should be pretty excited about. A really kind of sneaky good offseason acquisition by the Phillies team. This bullpen, Ryan Kerkering starting the year on the IL, but he'll be back. I really like the way he handled his kind of misery of the offseason. But Keller is a really nice piece. And, with Jose Alvarado's return, that is a strong back end of the bullpen with Alvarado, Keller, and the Durantula. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, they all have different weapons. I mean, Alvarado and Duran have the most velocity of like any 2 relievers in baseball this side of Aroldis Chapman. And you're going to be seeing them back-to-back innings a lot of times.
Nasty.
Brad Keller has this 6-pitch mix. He's a converted starter, so he has a lot more weapons than most setup men have. Interesting talking to Brad Keller earlier in spring training. Last year with the Cubs, he went into the season thinking he was going to be a starter. And then close to the season, they were like, hey, what do you think about pitching out of the bullpen? And for him, it was a better chance to actually make the team and be able to contribute. And he really took to that role and took off in the second half, parlayed that into that big contract with the Phillies. But I just look at a bullpen that has a lot of different looks, a lot of different weapons. I know they lost Matt Strahm. Jeff Hoffman's been gone for a couple of years now, but this bullpen has a chance to protect a lot of leads. I'm seeing a lot of 3-2, 4-2 games in the Phillies' future, and that's how they want to win games this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very exciting bullpen. All right, let's hear from a couple friends of ours, and then on the other side, Governor Josh Shapiro joins the show to talk about the Phillies and opening day. And does MLB have a salary cap / floor problem ahead of next year's looming lockout? We'll hear from the governor on the other side after some friends of ours here at PHLY. Xfinity has a 5-year price guarantee. What if you knew you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year guarantee. Imagine a Wi-Fi at home that makes everything work together. It finds problems and fixes them before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that lets you stream the game, even when your whole family is online. All your devices in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, and dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply. Tax season's a bit funny because for most people, it's the only time of the year they actually pay attention to their finances and what happened over the past year. And that's why me and my wife decided to use the Monarch app, because we needed somebody looking over us all year long. So simplify your finances with Monarch. It's the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings together your entire financial life. Budgeting, accounts, savings, investments, net worth, future planning together all in one dashboard on your phone or on your laptop. So feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code PHLY. Achieve those financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool for your money management made simple. Use code PHLY at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code PHLY. Welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast, live here from the Xfinity Lounge. Jamie Lynch, Corey Seidman, and we are honored to be joined by Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Governor, how are you? Opening day is tomorrow. It's a great time of the year.
Yeah, guys, I'm pumped up. It's great to be with you. Excited to talk some Phils with you.
So, Gov, I want to play a little word association with you. When I say MLB opening day, what's the first kind of thought, feeling, smell, sound? What comes to mind for you?
Just, man, Americana. It is America. It's beautiful, and it's sitting in the stands with your kid. It's being out there, feeling optimistic and hopeful about the future.
Well, there's a mixture of optimism and some pessimism about the Phillies this year. Opening day's obviously...
Well, you wouldn't be a Philly fan if you didn't say the word pessimism.
That's exactly
so
right.
Go ahead.
That's exactly right.
You're not going to bring me down this morning, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, this obviously is an exciting time of year either way. Just what interests you most going into the beginning of this part of the season? Phillies have some young guys. They have some established veterans as they look to kind of finish this job and win a World Series.
Yeah, I actually think finish the job is the right way to approach it. I mean, the Phils did not make huge changes in the off seasons. Got a little bit better in the outfield. I think, notwithstanding our one loss at the, in the starter with Suarez, I think we've got the best starting five, especially when Wheels is back and healthy. We finally have a closer. Remember, we've been going into these seasons kind of without a closer, without confidence in the bullpen. And I think the biggest question is, do our guys hit consistently through the season and continue to hit consistently through the offseason? Or do we run into the same issues we've had in these short, series in the playoffs? I am optimistic. My glass is half full. I think Dombrowski's done everything he needs to do to put a championship level team on the field. And God bless John Middleton. I mean, he's gone out and spent the money to make us, competitive. So I'm feeling very, very optimistic. I really am.
So, Governor Shapiro, one of the interesting off-season storylines was Dave Dombrowski saying, we hope Bryce Harper gets back to elite status. if somebody challenged you and said, hey, Gov, we need an elite year out of you, how are you responding to that? And how do you think Bryce is going to respond this year?
I think Bryce is going to put up incredible numbers. I mean, and by the way, I was bummed that we lost the the World Baseball Classic, but he stepped up in that final game after struggling a little bit in the early part. I think sometimes the media makes a little too much out of that kind of stuff, but by the same token, I do think it is fair, and I would say the same thing about me. It is fair to hold these athletes who you're paying a lot of money to, who you've got a lot of faith in. It's fair to hold them to high standards. I want to be held to high standards. And I think if you look at this team, they understand this is the year to do it. They're going to be held to that high standard, and they've got to perform not just throughout the season, as we have in recent years, but when it comes time to postseason play.
Governor, the Phillies are one of a few teams in baseball that has real designs of contending this season. There's a lot of fans who feel like it's a foregone conclusion that the Dodgers are just going to win it all because of what they're able to do every year, just adding superstar talent to what they have. And there are a lot of fans in baseball who think that the system's like kind of too lopsided. Do you see it that way, or do you still see it as Yeah.
I think it's totally lopsided. And look, I mean, let's see what we've got here just in Pennsylvania. Okay, you've got a championship contending team in the Phillies, where in effect John Middleton is spending beyond what is somewhat rational, and I mean that with all love for the Phillies and all appreciation for what John is doing, but he's sort of overspending. And then you've got on the other side of the state, Pittsburgh, a small market team that I would argue is underspending. And a big reason for that is because I think the system in baseball is kind of screwed up. It makes it harder to have competition throughout all of the teams because you don't have a floor and you don't have a responsible ceiling on salaries the way you have in other leagues. And so what I think you're in effect doing is you're giving these unfair advantages to teams that are willing to overspend. You cited the Dodgers as sort of exhibit A of that. What we really need to do if we want to have a healthy league is figure out how to lift up those who are at the bottom, who, quite frankly, need to spend more and be more competitive. And I think, look, you're going to see these issues play out over the next year and a half. Hopefully we'll avoid a strike and they'll be able to find some common ground on this. But I think we're at a really, really important, inflection point for baseball. I'm a huge baseball fan. I want MLB to be healthy. I don't want to see us go into a season where certain teams, just can't compete because of the dollars and cents on their roster. And so I think we got to figure this out. We really do. Otherwise, I think baseball's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Governor, just, kind of running it back, as a 12-year-old kid in the mid-'90s, the strike just completely disheartened me. I stopped following the league for a couple years. I was just bitter. But one of the things you mentioned in the World Baseball Classic, and Bryce Harper actually talked about last week, is the desire to be in the Olympics. He's like, the World Baseball Classic is great. It's awesome. We'd love to be in the Olympics. Would you want to see, as part of the new proposal in MLB, maybe what the NHL does and kind of shut down for 2 weeks and allow these guys to get in the Olympics? Because that would be incredible.
I think it'd be incredible as well. And I don't know exactly the mechanics of how they'd have to do it, how long they'd have to shut down, but I think it's awesome these guys want to put the flag of our amazing country on their chest and go out and compete for America. I think that is awesome. I want to see more patriotism in this country. I want to see more examples of that where people show their love for this nation. I love this country. I've dedicated my life to serving this country. And when athletes want to step up and do that, I think that's an awesome thing. And I think baseball should figure out a way to work with the Players Association and with the, whatever the Olympic, committee's called and go figure that out.
This is going to be a big summer in Philadelphia, not just because of the excitement over the Phillies, but also because the MLB All Star game comes to Philadelphia, 250th year, 250th anniversary. Just how exciting is it to have a big event like that in Philadelphia during the middle of the summer? You're going to have all these superstar athletes descending upon the city.
Man, it's awesome. To have MLB here as we celebrate USA 250, the All Star game, it's amazing. And listen, we have worked incredibly hard to just stack up the calendar this year. Think about it. March Madness, we just had this weekend, right? You've got the NFL draft in Pittsburgh next month. You've got MLB All Star. You've got the PGA Championship at Aronimink. You've got FIFA coming here for a series of matches. That's going to be epic. And I got another huge announcement coming next week for the sporting world. Next month, pardon me, for the sporting world. So we have stacked everything up here as a way to celebrate America. It's a way to bring people together. And look, guys, I certainly don't want to talk politics here, and I won't. But here's what I will say. I know people feel divided, though one of the few things in life that still brings us together and blurs those divisions is sports. You know, you're sitting up in the stands, you're watching a great game. You don't care who the person next to you voted for. You just know you are cheering for that team. Or if you're a Philly fan, you might be booing your own team just because that's how we are if they're not playing well. But the bottom line here is sports has this unique way of bringing people together. We need that in our country, especially as we celebrate our 250th anniversary.
All right, Gov, as we let you go here, I want to do a little top 10 Phillies blind rankings with you. I got 10 names here. You have to slot them in where you think they belong, and there's some heavy hitters in this. So let's get started. Number one, Jimmy Rollins.
So I got to give you a number 1 to 10 on Jimmy without knowing the other 9.
Yeah.
7.
Mike Gold, Jack Schmidt.
1.
Darren Dalton.
9.
Kyle Schwarber.
It's hard, man. He's still playing.
Hitting all the errors.
8.
Steve Carlton.
2.
Chase Utley.
Did I use 6 yet?
I don't think so.
All right, 6.
Roy Halladay.
4.
Bryce Harper.
He's still playing.
I think you have 5 and 10 left.
5.
And then John Kruk gets the I mean, the guy calls the games and you put him in the 10 spot.
You know what? He'll enjoy that,
now,
though.
See, now I'm gonna get grief for that. And like I could see Crucker, and he's gonna give me a hard time. By the way, on entertainment, Crucker would have been number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
We're blessing the town with some great broadcasters. Governor Shapiro, we appreciate your time. Let's go, Phils. It's going to be an exciting year ahead.
Go Phils. It's going to be great, guys. Enjoy opening day.
Thank you. You too.
You too. It's March in Philadelphia, and that means one thing for baseball fans. It's an exciting time of the year. And at Elkin Chevrolet, it's the time for real deals. 3 brothers, 1 promise, treat you like family, and give you a deal that makes sense. Trucks, they've got them. SUVs, of course they got those too. Payments that keep you in the game, absolutely. It's Chevy Truck Month, and the refunds are a big hit. And it's a great time for Phillies fans to check out the new Chevy trucks at Elkins. Get up to $7,360 in bonus cash on a new Silverado 1500. Contact Elkins Chevrolet today or see if you qualify for additional offers. If you're thinking about making a move, make it to Elkins Chevrolet on Route 73 in Marlton. Elkins Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Phillies fans, remember, together, let's drive. It's time to make your home work smarter, not harder. With a TrueMark Financial home equity line of credit, you can tap into your home's equity and handle renovations, upgrades, or whatever is next on your list. A TrueMark Financial HELOC Select gives you the flexibility to borrow when you need it on your timeline. You start with a revolving line of credit. What you need when you're ready, you can lock in all or part of the balance at a fixed rate for predictable payments. You only pay interest on what you use, and as you pay it back, that credit becomes available again. No reapplying, no extra steps. With competitive rates compared to most unsecured loans and flexible repayment options, this could be a smart move for your home and your wallet. Learn more about TrueMark Financial's home equity line of credit at TrueMark.com or stop by one of their 24 area branch locations. TrueMark Financial is federally insured by the NCUA and an equal opportunity lender. NMLS 404938. PHLY Phillies podcast live from the Xfinity Lounge, brought to you by our friends at Bet365, where winning is everything. Want to talk a little bit about winning and winning the NL East, because this division is an interesting one. Obviously, 3 contending teams, all with playoff likelihood, potential, possibility. 2, maybe not, but maybe a Miami team that's up and coming. Let's do like a little bit of an overview of the NL East, some of the new changes we talked about here with this Phillies team. Let's talk about some of the changes and updates around the division. I think the Phillies are going to win the division. I have them around like 93-ish wins on the year. Corey, do you see them winning the division? What's your win total? And then Anthony, same for you.
Yeah, I think the Phillies are going to win the division with like 95, 96 wins. I think the Mets are going to make it tough for most of the season, but I see them as more of like a 90-win team. And I'll tell you what, before the slew of injuries hit the Braves, they were right in that range too.
Yeah.
I see that as more of a 500 team now.
The problem is Strider.
Yeah.
Strider and Schwellenbach and Waldrop. I mean, they've lost 60% of their rotation and haven't replaced any of them.
I hate to say this, forget the Braves and forget that they're a rival, but it's heartbreaking when you see a pitcher like Strider,
Young guy,
just not be able to pitch.
Because we've seen it so many times where a guy has like a real short burst of success, like a Tim Lincecum, where he just wasn't able to maintain it for long enough. For the sake of competitiveness, you do want to see a guy be able to come back from that.
Just for the sport. Sport needs like young flame, like the Skeens and Skubal. It's great to have those guys around.
You think Chris Sale runs it back again? Because talk about regaining your form.
I
the guy's
don't know.
Been spectacular last
I don't know
2
how
years.
he did it. I don't know how he was great last year. Is he going to be great again?
I think he'll be great again, but it's going to be in like 130 innings. Like, you're not going to be able to rely on Chris Sale to make 32 starts. The Braves are very careful with him to begin with. So if that's your number one, are you going to get 6 months out of him, or are you going to get 4.5 months out of him?
I'm not even in love with their lineup. Austin Riley took a huge step.
Sure did. I mean, that's a major key for them.
Step back.
He was hurt last year for most of the year, but he didn't do what he usually does. You think back to that, I think it was 2023, whatever year it was, where everybody in the Braves lineup had a career year the same year. That was historic.
Same thing.
And then they've all just trended all the way down since then, except for Acuna.
Yeah, he's legit.
He looked great in the World Baseball Classic.
No, he's stud.
He's an elite player.
And Michael Harris I like, but
I ended up with Harris in one of my fantasy leagues. I hate
the Phillies do a great job against Michael Harris. They have just they have some kind of secret against him, because I think it was either last year or the year before, he was like 1 for 21 with 15 strikeouts. I mean, they certainly have a book on him.
We got Olsen. I mean,
I see that as like a 500-ish team because of all the injuries, and they haven't replaced any of these guys.
I agree.
Is Lucas Giolito still out there, by the way? Did he ever sign?
I think he is.
No, he's still he's unsigned.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves at some point got to sign him, right? Losing 60% of your rotation. I know. I think that the Phillies, Mets 90+ wins, Braves 82, and then those two teams at the bottom
the Phillies too. I go, and this isn't a homer thing. I'm looking at 95 wins. I think they win the division. I just don't see these other teams. I look at the Mets again. Look at the Mets lineup. It's top heavy. You brought it up earlier, which I thought was right, Core. You lose Alonso. That's a big deal.
Was it 130 RBIs last year?
That's what I'm saying. And you gotta go. That was a gauntlet that you had to face, right? Soto, Alonso. Like, when you got to go through that gauntlet of left, right, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, now once you get past the Bichette part of the Mets lineup, you're talking about like Luis Robert, Mark Vientos.
So here's their projected opening day lineup. It's Lindor 1, Soto 2, Bichette 3. Nasty. Then you have Jorge
Lindor. What's his health, though? He was banged up.
Who, Bichette?
Lindor.
Oh, Lindor. Yeah,
he's going to be ready, but
didn't he have a hamate bone?
Which, I mean, what you always hear about that is that it saps guys of power. So I'll be interested to see, does Lindor hit 30 homers or does he hit 17 homers?
They have Jorge Polanco in the 4-hole.
Yeah, and so stop right there. Jorge Polanco in the cleanup spot. Phillies fans talking about Alec Bohm not being a prototypical. Is Jorge Polanco a prototypical cleanup hitter?
No.
Then they have Luis Robert, old Lou Bob in center field, batting 5th. Brett Beatty 6. Marcus Semien, who has had a great career, batting 7.
He's old.
He is old. Carson Benj in right field, batting 8. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
And then Ben Rortvedt.
Catcher.
Yeah, the catcher, batting 9.
It sounds like a noise Scooby-Doo would make.
Rortvedt. Who's their everyday catcher? He can't be their everyday catcher. Alvarez, right.
too, yeah.
Yeah, where's Alvarez? Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team, but I think that the
That lineup's not great.
I think the expectations for them are a little too high based on like the bombastic moves they made in the offseason compared to
Where's
what they actually
Vientos,
have.
You didn't mention
He
Vientos.
wasn't in these lineups.
He's probably only going to start against lefties.
He had a real drop off last year, kind of similar to Austin.
I liked him.
I did too.
I liked.
Mets fans have like given up on him.
He
already.
kills the Phillies, Mark Vientos.
The problem with him is he's a dead red kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're not seeing it, if you're not getting fastballs, you know.
Yeah, I mean the Mets, the way they're probably looking at through like rose-colored glasses is if Semien gets back to his form, if Luis Robert can do what he did at the pinnacle of his career, that can elongate the lineup. But I just, I don't see a bunch of slam dunks in that lineup.
No, and Polanco, to your point, I don't get that.
Yeah, the polar bear. It's a big loss for them.
They clearly just wanted to move on from that core of like Alonso, Nimmo, and McNeil, probably as much for personality and clubhouse
pesky,
reasons.
Man. Like I hated Nimmo. I hated facing Nimmo. And Alonso's Alonso. Like
I'm glad he's out of the division.
And even McNeil. McNeil put the bat on ball, man.
So the Miami Marlins obviously not competing for the NL East, but they do have some nice young pieces on that roster. They're going to be. This is going to be one of those years where the Phils like split with the Marlins.
They're always pesky. They're always frisky. I think their guy Kyle Stowers, the big bat in the middle of their lineup.
Dude.
He has an injury, so I think he's not going to start the season. But they always have good young pitching, right? They're going to have Perez, Max Meyer, Sandy Alcantara. They signed Pete Fairbanks to be their closer from the Rays, so he's going to be a good closer.
Yeah, Tyler Phillips.
He's still there. He's a maniac now. You see him when he enters games?
Yeah. Dude, he actually he got a career.
Yeah, he sure has. And you know what? Good for him, because when he was here,
local kid.
Yeah, he was trying to find a way. Like he was trying to find that mentality, that mindset, and this is working for him. Being like a pro wrestler coming in from the from the bullpen, but yeah, I think the Marlins are going to be like one of those teams that's annoying to play. The Nationals are going to stink.
Hey, I have one thing to say. Speaking of local kids, local ball players.
You're all McGonagalled up.
That's my boy.
How about that?
Kevin McGonigal.
Pride of Bonner.
Shortstop high. Bonner.
Looks like he might lead off for them. Is that possible?
Baby.
It's going to be crazy.
Do you have to say Bonner Prendergrass now, or can you still go just Bonner?
I can just go shortstop high. And that kid, what a great family. My godson Sammy played with him.
Oh, nice.
What a great family. His father, and Kevo's a stud, man.
I guess he's probably been a can't miss prospect since he was real young, right?
No.
No?
No. Well, I mean, listen, you knew he was good, but he had this summer. And it was like, was it freshman, sophomore? I know the story. The story's awesome. Like, he was a good ball player, but he went from like 1 year to where, and you'll see these kids because they're going through puberty, and Trout was different. I mean, Trout was different, and so was Bryce. Bryce at 14 was like the toast of the world.
Looked like
right?
a man.
The baseball world.
Yeah.
But Kevin had this like one summer, and then like he just started crushing the ball, then became the man.
Corey, you mentioned wrestling, and we do have a super chat from our guy, West Virginia Rick.
Ricky!
And it has to do, we have two super chats, but let's get to Rick's first. He says, Corey, what WWE Attitude Era champion would you compare to Alec Bohm batting fourth for this team?
That's a great question. So you're thinking of like a guy who was kind of miscast as the champ? Wow. In the Attitude Era. I can't think of a guy who didn't deserve the belt in the Attitude Era. Like I think of like mid '90s Bob Backlund should not have been the champion.
Rick, I don't know.
I can't help you.
Yeah, so mid '90s Bob Backlund, I would say, should not have been the champion. Totally miscast. So I'll go with that. Attitude Era, everybody who held the belt was a top guy. So it would have been if Rikishi was the champion in 2001.
Was he the ass face guy?
Yeah. You were a big fan of that.
Well, I know that one. Yeah, I don't know much wrestling, but
was
I know.
Was he the ass face guy?
And then we got another super chat from Demorak. Says, excited for the updated show. Welcome aboard, Corey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, an awesome season.
So our layout here, Corey's going to be with us. He's going to be covering games from the ballpark Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 12 noon right here in the Xfinity Lounge. Ant is going to be joining us on Wednesdays throughout the season. And we're really excited because Anthony's so Phillied up this year. He was like, I want to write baseball again. Anthony was a great baseball writer throughout his career. He still has that burning itch within him. So he's going to be writing some pieces. First piece is going to be out tomorrow, and it's going to be a little bit of an ode to Bryce Harper. And you can get that story. That one's going to be free. Corey's writing. You got to become a diehard to get the full writing. But tomorrow on All PHLY, and why don't you tell people a little bit about the story you're writing on Bryce Harper?
Well, it's the Bryce Revenge Tour preview. And it's a bit of an ode to Bryce. Like I talked to several different people. There's a story about Bryce I've never heard before.
Real quick, let's send it to overtime. The people on TV, you can check us out at allphly.com.
Anything goes now, right?
Yeah, the gloves are off. Curses.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I punch you?
What's that?
I punch you?
All right, so tell us about this Bryce piece.
So it's a bit of an ode. I got a story I've never heard before about young Bryce, which I'm excited to share. Larry Bohm was fabulous. Everybody that wants him to walk, you're not going to like it.
Is
You're
that
not
right?
going to like the story. I got interested in greatness, and it's kind of what I wanted to write about. The wiring of greatness, because that's been my defense to Bryce. You know I love Harper, man. I'm a huge Harper fan. And I just love the greatness. I love the willingness and the want to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could do whatever we want. It takes balls to be great.
And he's never rested on his laurels at any point. I mean,
No.
he's always tried to push
He's
himself.
a worker, man. His father was an iron worker in Vegas. He's always been blue collar. He's a worker. But he's got stones, man. It's easy to just, you know what? They're pitching around him. They're pitching around me. I'll just take the free pass.
I remember asking Harper a few years ago during the playoffs after one of his big moments. I can't remember which one it was because he's had so many. I think it was against the Braves. And I just said, like, how is it that every single time you're able to kind of just block everything out? And he said that from the time he was 12 years old, he put the pressure on himself to be able to feed his family because he was the young kid who was seen as the future superstar. So he's been putting that pressure on himself from the time he was 12 years old playing Little League.
You know what it is? No fear.
Mm-hmm.
No fear. Everybody's going to taste failure, but it's no fear.
Especially in baseball. I mean,
Yeah.
best players in the world.
For sure.
Are going to fail
Right, but
7
you
out of 10
can't
times.
fear the moment. Guys, you've been around covering
Yeah.
the game. You know it.
Yeah.
Guys fear the moment.
And this is going to be a nice short piece, right, Ant, in your writing style? Nice and short.
No, I don't do anything short.
Maybe 250 words, 300. What can we tell the people?
No, it's probably 2,500 words. I don't write short.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know.
problem.
But you're passionate
And
about it.
I was
It's
working
great.
on. I was out yesterday. I didn't feel well, and I spent the entire day and night writing.
That's awesome.
Working. So,
Can't wait to read it.
I love
Make
it.
sure
It's
you're
my
checking
passion,
that
my happy
out
place.
at allphly.com. And Corey's going to be down at the ballpark a ton this year. He's going to be in the dugout, in the locker room, talking to the team, doing some social media gathering for us. So we're so excited to have Corey with us this season for Phillies baseball.
Legit. Corey's legit, man.
He does a great job covering this team. I've always followed him. It's an honor to work with him now. All right, let's get into some bold predictions for the year. Corey and we made a little graphic last night with some bold predictions on the year. I will start it off. The Phillies are going to win 92 games and unfortunately lose to the Dodgers in the NLCS. But I think they're a 90-plus win team fairly easily. And I think that can go higher if a couple guys step up, whether it be a Stott, a Marsh, a Bohm, maybe Aaron Nola bounces back. Adolis Garcia. I think there's going to probably be 175 Ks. I'm okay with that, but I'm going to go with 32 home runs on the season. And then Bryce Harper. I think because of that Crawford we talked about, because of Trey Turner's ability to get on base, I think he's going to have ducks on the pond all season. So for only the third time in his career, Bryce Harper is going to eclipse 100 RBIs on the season. Corey?
Wow.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize he's only had 100 RBIs twice in his career.
It's wild.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So I have Cristopher Sanchez winning the Cy Young. I mean, I look at it last year. Paul Skeens.
Should have won last year.
Paul Skeens had a great year. But
Yeah.
aside from Paul Skeens, who would Sanchez's top competition be in the NL this year for Cy Young? I think people might say Yamamoto. I don't know if the Dodgers are going to necessarily push him hard enough.
Sale if he repeats.
But I don't know if the Braves are going to push him hard enough. Whereas I see Sanchez exceeding 200 innings again.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that he is trending toward a Cy Young one of these years. I too have the Phillies meeting the Dodgers in the NLCS. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's way too early.
Because
there's going to be injuries. There's going to be all. But I will say this.
I know, but you can't even think about it. Don't think about the plot.
But I will say this, though. No team plays the Dodgers right now better than the Phillies. There's no team the Dodgers want to face less than the Phillies, okay? Based on the regular season, the NLDS didn't go their way, but they were mostly close games, so anything can happen. Short series, anything can happen.
Wow, you bring up a great point. The elite pitching in the National League, where is it other than Philadelphia? There's a pathway where Luzardo is
a top 7 Cy Young. Yeah.
Yes,
I totally agree. Because you
the
think
Dodgers
about
should be legit if they stay healthy.
Who's that?
The Dodgers will.
Yeah,
be
but
legit.
to Corey's point, I agree with him. They're not pushing Yamamoto, and he's their best starter.
Sasaki is having a disastrous.
Yeah, and the top starters in baseball right now are in the AL: Crochet, Skubal, Brian Wu, guys like that. I think about Yeah, the pathway to Sanchez winning the NL Cy Young. Not that you ever want to
you know what? I'm interested in Bubba Chandler.
Yeah, he's going to be nice for the Pirates, back of their rotation.
The fact that they're going to go Skeens, Bubba Chandler.
And Jared Jones should be returning from the IL. He missed all last year.
They're sneaky.
Yeah.
But if you look.
MLB.com has the Pirates as the 6th best rotation in baseball.
Really? Yeah. I was going to say Bubba Chandler's like their version of Painter. They're as excited about Chandler as Phillies fans are about Painter.
What do you got?
So the list on MLB.com for best rotations, they give the top spot to the Dodgers. Number 2 to the Mariners.
To the Dodgers.
To the Dodgers, best rotation?
Yeah. Phillies, number 3. Red Sox, 4. Tigers, 5. Pirates, 6. Yankees, 7. So
the Dodgers 1 through 5. What
Brewers,
is projected? It's projected to be like Yamamoto, Snell, and Glasnow. Are they even ready to begin the year?
Snell has a slight shoulder problem that came up, and Glasnow is always hurt.
Yeah.
They have Yamamoto, Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow, and Emmett Sheehan.
And Ohtani, was dominant last night.
Right.
He's had a good spring.
No, the Phillies have better rotation.
Yeah, they're deeper.
And last year was the first year the Dodgers got to October with a healthy rotation. Right?
Milwaukee's interesting. I want to see Mizorowski.
Yeah, he's good.
Full year. He's got great. He throws hard,
100,
man.
Yeah, they're projected Woodruff, Chad Patrick, Mizorowski, Quinn Priester, and Kyle Harrison.
Priester's not bad.
Yeah, I'll take the Phillies over that.
Yeah. So
kind of shows you why the Phillies have built around this rotation so much.
Yeah.
They've given themselves an advantage most nights and most years.
Ant, any bold predictions you want to get on the record before the season starts?
It would be Luzardo strikeouts. I can't give you a number.
Plus.
I think I could see that. I like your Garcia power numbers. I think
32, baby. Come on,
I think he goes 30 plus.
All right.
You think Kyle Schwarber has another one of these absolutely monstrous seasons in him?
I think he's around 40. I don't think 46.
58. I mean,
I think he's in the mid 40s.
I was
even
say
in a
48,
down
49,
year. Yeah.
That's incredible
He's
that a
scraping
down year for Kyle Schwarber.
I know.
You
hit 50 bombs. I go, thanks, Schwarbs.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a lot of fun. The season starts tomorrow.
Let's go!
Sanchez on the hill. Texas Rangers are in town. Make sure you're following along on the show. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new and just giving us a shot. Hit that thumbs up button. Do a little roll call here with Jay Scheim. I saw Ray in there. Broad Street Bully. I saw Mickey Durkin in there.
Mickey.
Philly Rick. Jason. So many of our regulars. Good to see you guys back in here. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're so excited to add Corey Seidman to the team. Ethan Hartley behind the scenes making this all happen for us. Anthony's got baseball gum everywhere all over the office. He's ready for opening day. We're excited. It's going to be a fun year. The Phillies are going to be able to compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers. As my parents always told me in life, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This is going to be a good baseball team. Let's have a lot of fun this year. We'll be with you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you're checking out Anthony and Corey's writing at allphly.com, as well as the rest of our staff, which does an incredible job here. Thanks for hanging out with us on this pre-opening day debut for us. We had a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun throughout the season. Go Phils, and we'll see you soon here on the PHLY Phillies podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.